Hello Slashers, Nabcrypt here, and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'll be reviewing Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2. Yes, that is right. That honey-loving son of a bear is back at it again, and he is shedding more blood. So with that out of the way, let's get to this video. Before I get into this review fully, yes, I did get to see this movie in theaters. Fortunately, I got super lucky that a theater near me was in fact showing it, so I did get to see it. I'm just really late on reviewing it, so on my part I apologize for that. Yes, Christopher Robin does return, and a large portion of the story is about him and trying to overcome the trauma of what Winnie the Pooh and the gang did to him. To start, the cinematography this time around is a lot better than the first movie. Like, it is a massive upgrade from the first movie, and the makeup and costumes are also really on top of their game. Honestly, they did a great job with the costumes and makeup for this movie. They absolutely hit out of the ballpark, and Winnie the Pooh and the gang look better than ever. It was mainly just Winnie the Pooh and Piglet that were in the first movie. I think that's all that there was, actually. But they revamped them and they look a lot better. And Tigger and Owl both look fucking phenomenal. Their makeup is super cool. The kills are also really fucking good, honestly. They did a really good job with the kills and the practical effects and stuff like that for the kills. Like, the gore was super good. There's only one kill scene, I would say. I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm not gonna say anything about the kill scene, but I'm gonna say is it involves an axe, and I feel like the way that they executed it in the movie, it just was very choppy the way that it was cut together. But other than that, all the other kills look amazing. The gore is really fucking good. Like, they blew me away with how good the gore was. And honestly, the story, man, the story was surprisingly good. I thought that them taking the story of Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2 more seriously this time around would ultimately mark the downfall of the film, but no, honestly. They did a good job with the story, and honestly, they did it in a way where I could get behind them making it more serious. It doesn't bother me at all that it made it more serious, because honestly, I just want them to do more of like a comedic take, like make it more comedic rather than, oh, like, you know, like, I'm gonna try to take this as seriously as possible. But they somehow managed to blend the seriousness with the camp really well, to the point to where the fact that the story is more serious doesn't bother me. And they actually found a way to make Winnie the Pooh and the gang, I'm saying the gang so I don't have to say all their names over and over, but you get the point. They made a way of making Winnie the Pooh and the gang actually like work in this universe, like in a way where it's like, okay, like they did a good job in my opinion. But overall, yeah, they somehow made a way to make the story work being serious, and I'm quite blown away and quite amazed at that, because I felt like that's one thing that really held the first movie back, was that it was more serious than I felt like it should have been. But I feel like the fact that they upped the budget and did some like, I guess, revisions to like the story. They of course improved the way that Winnie the Pooh and the gang look, and so I think that also contributes to it a little bit, the fact that they made those changes, and so making it more serious actually works. But Winnie the Pooh, Piglet, Owl, and Tigger not only look great in this movie, but they have like a personality to them as well that makes it actually fun to watch them like on screen fucking up people. Like, I was actually like quite amazed at how much personality they really breathed into these characters, and it made it really enjoyable to watch the movie. Like, I was like hooked to the seat of, you know, this, of course, the seat that I was sitting in the theater the whole time. I was actually hooked to it watching the movie, and I was really compelled by the whole thing. It was actually a really entertaining watch, and a big part of that was how they handled Winnie the Pooh and the gang in this movie. They did a really good job at bringing those characters to life and making it enjoyable to watch those characters on screen killing people. I feel like they really like took notes from the criticism of the first movie, which, by the way, the first movie isn't as bad as some people are saying it is, in my opinion. I thought that the first movie was okay, but it feels like they really took notes from that and they found a way to actually like find a formula that works for this movie and possibly even the third one, because they are making a third one. And I'll get more into the other movies they're planning in just a second. But again, you know, I feel like this film should still have had a little bit more camp, but this movie still handles the characters in a way that I can still like okay, like this is okay. Like I don't have a problem with it not being as campy as I want it to be. I still, like I said, I still wish there's more, a little more sprinkled in, but I'm at a point where I'm like, this isn't bad. Like I actually enjoy this. You know, the fact that it's not as campy as I want it to be is fine. But that and then the kill that I was mentioning earlier are really the only things I really like have a big issue with. It's just like made for fun, but like I don't really have much bad to say about it because I don't think it's a bad movie. It's fun, it's enjoyable, it has a fun like premise to it. You know, it went to theaters and I had a fun time. Like I actually really enjoyed seeing it in theaters. Before I get to my final verdict, I do want to talk about the Poohverse, which is, you know, the universe that ties all these like monster films together. Like all these like, I guess they call it the Twisted Childhood Universe. Is what Jagged Edge Productions calls it. Yeah, I want to talk about the Poohverse films all together. Of course, we got Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 1 and 2, and then there's Bambi the Reckoning, Peter Pan, Neverland Nightmare, Pinocchio Unstrung, and then there's Poohverse Monsters Assemble, which combines all the films and all the characters. If I'm not mistaken, there might be a few more movies besides, you know, the ones listed here. I do know for a fact, you know, of course we're getting a Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 3. But I think the ones I'm the most excited about are definitely Peter Pan, Neverland Nightmare, and Pinocchio Unstrung. Definitely Pinocchio Unstrung. From what they're explaining, they want Pinocchio to kind of be like, more like Chucky. A description for like one of the things they wanted to do for the movie. I'm not going to spoil it because it's pretty cool. But when I heard it, I'm like, I actually want to see this now. This is actually interesting. I want to see this movie right fucking now. They're talking about having like a, you know, animatronic for Pinocchio, and that would be sick. And don't get me wrong, I'm also pretty excited about Bambi the Reckoning. They showed like a sneak peek at the film. I felt a little weirded out the fact that they like made like Bambi like this really big CGI deer, and I didn't know how to feel about that, but I don't know, I'll give it a chance because, you know, just because it has like very questionable CGI doesn't mean it's gonna be a terrible movie. It could be really good. Like other than that, the film looks shot very well. Like they showed like a little bit of like, you know, the cinematography, and it was shot pretty good, so it could actually turn out to be a really good movie. Either way, I will give all these movies a chance, and hopefully I get to see them all in theaters, because fuck, man, like, I'm actually excited. After seeing Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2, I was blown away, and I'm actually, like, on board with this. I want to, like, I want to see more of this universe unfold. But let's get to the final verdict. Let's give this a rating. The cinematography. I think I have to give the cinematography at least an 8. I felt like they did an amazing job of the cinematography here, and I was overall captivated by how they were able to pull it off. It looks like a well-shot movie, definitely leagues better than the first movie. They did an amazing job, and they really took the time to make improvements instead of just shitting out another, like, film that would possibly be just the same as the first one. They definitely really like took up the challenge of actually making a better sequel and actually improving upon the first movie, and I think that's awesome. The music score, I gotta definitely give this a 7. I think that the music is pretty good. They play that theme that they played a lot of in the first movie again, except they don't play it as much, and it sounds different. They definitely did a different rendition of the theme in this, and they did play some music at the very end that gave me goosebumps. I actually really liked the music in this. They did a great job writing a story. I think I'm gonna have to give this an 8 as well. They found a way to actually make it work well, and you know, I just really appreciate that, like how they were able to make the story work so well despite the source material they have on the tip of their hands. They actually made it work. The acting, I gotta say, about probably a 7. The actors all did really good. I was actually quite surprised by how, the good the acting was, especially compared to the first movie. The final verdict, in my opinion, man, fuck. Honestly, I think I gotta give this an 8. out of 10. And fuck it, 9% seal of approval. I do recommend this movie. I know this movie isn't for everyone, but I gotta recommend it because I'm just so impressed by it. I don't think it was bad at all. I think the only real issue is the fact that Winnie the Pooh didn't really eat any honey, not that I remember. Like, fuck me, give Winnie the Pooh his honey! But for the final statement, I can't think of a statement, honestly, so you know what I'm gonna say? Winnie the Pooh loves using his honey as lube, and that's why he didn't eat any honey in the film. Go watch Winnie the Pooh 1 Honey 2. That'll be all for today's video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you guys did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe for more content. Definitely subscribe, become a slasher. All sorts of links and my merch that's good below. Thank you so much for watching my review on Winnie the Pooh 1 Honey 2. Again, I apologize for getting it out late. Have you guys gotten to see Winnie the Pooh 1 Honey 2 in theaters? If so, what do you guys think about it? If not, are you gonna try to go see it on video on demand when it comes out? Like I said, let me know all this in the comments down below. I'm out of here. I'll catch you all next video. Thank you so much for watching. And don't forget, guys, to keep on slashing.